everyone, so I'm doing a video finally all about gluten, or the lack of gluten in my life. So I found out I was gluten intolerant about a year ago, and I kind of mention it in a lot of my videos, and I get so, it's probably my most requested video to do is talk about gluten and what I do, how I found out, and everything basically that I've learned, you know, through the whole process. So I figured I would do this video because I have learned so much, and I figured I wanted to share this with you because it's changed my life and how I feel, so I wanted to share it with you. I'm not claiming I know everything there is to know about gluten, so don't, you know, think I'm a doctor and stuff, or if I'm saying something that's wrong, I'm sorry, let me know, but this is just what I've learned over my time, over my experience kind of dealing with it. So this video, I'm going to kind of break it into two parts. I'm going to first talk about how I realized that I was gluten intolerant. I don't have celiac disease. I'm just kind of allergic to gluten. So I'll talk about first how I found that out, and then I will get into what I've done to kind of deal with it, products and stuff that I eat and do to, you know, balance it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So first, how did I find out I was gluten intolerant? Well, it was pretty much exactly a year from today, and I remember the specific day. I was, you know, I had a lot of classes that day. I was back at school, and when I was rushed, I would usually just eat like granola bars or meal replacement bars. So probably had like a granola bar for breakfast, and then in between one of my classes I grabbed a Luna bar, ate that, and then I had class right after, and I remember getting this instant stomach ache that was so painful. I was just like, what is going on? And it wasn't like cramps or anything. It was just like this different type of stomach ache that really, really hurt. It was like my actual stomach, kind of like intestine area. And I was just like, couldn't concentrate, go all the way back to my house, and I was like leaning over. I get home and I'm like laying on the bed, and my roommates are like, what the heck is wrong with you? And I was like, I just had this crazy stomach ache, and I timed it. I had it for 6 hours that day, and I was like, okay, something is wrong, like this is not normal. So I wrote down everything I ate, and I realized everything I ate had gluten in it. It was more like wheats and oats. I know oats isn't gluten, but oats are really hard to digest, so that probably triggered it as well. So I was kind of figuring, you know, maybe it's gluten, I don't know. Then I realized my mom is gluten intolerant. She's not like, she doesn't have celiac either, but she's sensitive to it. And I was looking online, and it's genetic, so I was like, okay, well, maybe this is it. So I decided to cut gluten out of my diet for a week and see what went on. Also, previously, like that week, we made a pasta dinner, me and my roommates, and I remember like being like, oh, I'm so full, and having a really bad stomach ache, and just thinking that they all have stomach aches too, and I always thought that was normal, but it was not normal. Like, they were like, we're full, but we don't have a stomach ache, and I just thought everybody got stomach aches after they ate big dinners, so that was kind of a clue as well. So I am kind of an all or nothing person, so I went through my drawers, took everything that had gluten in it. I mean, not like everything with like specific ingredients, but basic things that are gluten, like bread and wheat thins and cereal. So I just took it all out of there, gave it to my roommates, and went to a health food store, dropped a ton of money on gluten-free things, and was like, I'm gonna do this. So that week I didn't eat any gluten, and I felt seriously so great. I had no stomach aches. I felt more like I had more energy, and I was in a better mood. It was really cool. So I was like, well, this has to be it. So I went to the doctor on our campus, and I got a blood test and to see if I had celiac. And it came out and it said that I did not have celiac. So, and he didn't really know much about it, so he wasn't very much help. So I just figured, you know, I looked online and stuff, and you can either have celiac disease or you can just be sensitive to gluten. So I can eat like, you know, a little bit of pasta here, or maybe like a little piece of bread, and I'll be okay, but it's not necessarily like good for me. Also, another thing that happens that I found is I will maybe have, you know, a bowl of cereal, and then I'll feel fine, and I'm like, oh great, like maybe I can eat some stuff right now. So then the next day or the next meal I'll have maybe a sandwich. And then the next day I'm like, oh, I feel fine. And then all of a sudden I will get a massive stomach ache like the one I had. And it's like kind of like my body is telling me like, I can't handle this, you know, you need to cut it out. So that's kind of how I figured out I was, you know, had issues with gluten. And my body kind of told me like, you can't deal with this. So that's my biggest tip, is if you're kind of struggling and you're not feeling at your best and you're getting stomach aches or something, or you're really, you know, fatigued. That was another thing. I got so much more energy when I stopped eating gluten. Listen to your body and see, you know, write down what you're eating. That's what I did as well. I would write down everything I ate and how my body reacted after that, just to see maybe it's something different than you thought. Maybe it's not dairy. Maybe it's, I don't know, nuts or something. So listen to your body, see how your body reacts to when you eat specific things, because that really helped me out. So that is basically how I found out. Now I'm going to kind of share with you some things that I have done to make my life a lot easier and make it not so much of a hassle to be gluten intolerant. So first of all, don't buy foods that are specifically made to be gluten-free. I have found that, number one, they taste horrendous. Like, I bought all of the gluten-no cookies, crackers, everything, and they were so gross. Like, I made all my friends try it and they're like, oh, this is awful. So don't buy that stuff because it has a lot more calories and it's so much more expensive. So what I do is I just eat foods that naturally don't have gluten in them, and it's really not that hard. It was hard at first because you're like, everything has gluten in it, but it's really not that hard, I promise you. And now it's like, I never ever want pasta, I never want bread, because I know it's gonna give me a stomachache, and I just don't want that. Another thing I forgot to mention is I get really itchy when I eat gluten. It's like an allergic reaction, and my legs get super itchy, and what'll happen is maybe like when I'm going to bed, I'm like itching, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, what did I eat today that had gluten? And I'm like, oh, I had a cupcake, and that's why. So it's very strange. It's like my body knows exactly when to tell me, you know, cut it out. So I wouldn't suggest buying foods that are specifically like gluten-free brands, just because I don't think they taste good and they're just a ripoff. So what I do is I just eat foods that are more natural, which is kind of better. Like I also dropped a lot of weight when I started doing this, because if you think about it, a lot of the bulk of your calories are coming from the gluten products. So if you have, you know, cereal in the morning is more calories than just some fruit and yogurt. Or if you have a sandwich during the day, that's a lot more calories than if you take that bread away. Like, the majority of the calories are in the bread. So when I just cut that out, it was kind of like, you know, I wasn't getting all these calories that I needed, and I had to find ways to substitute those calories back in. So one of those ways is like doing meal replacement shakes. So I would go to Costco and I would buy those meal replacement shakes, and they're just easy, because at first, when I first discovered I couldn't have gluten, I honestly like was overwhelmed, and I just didn't know what to eat, so I wouldn't eat things. And so that's probably another reason why I lost weight, because I was like, I just don't know what to eat, and it's frustrating, so I'm just not going to eat this. So I got those meal replacement shakes, and I would just take one in the morning, and at least I'd be full and have something in my stomach. So what I have now, I just went to Sprouts today to kind of show you some things that I do. So some of these are brand new. So the first thing is whey protein, because it's just kind of like when you're eating foods that don't have gluten, you don't get very full. Well, you're eating a lot of protein, so basically you're eating protein, fruits and vegetables, and dairy, you know? So you need to get some foods that are going to make you full, because you're not getting any of that bread or any of that like filling stuff. So I like to have whey protein. I had another one before. I think I just finished it today, actually. But if you go to any health food store, just ask them. They're really like, knowledgeable about all their products, and just get some whey protein. I like chocolate flavored, because I feel like the vanilla is like really, really sweet and kind of fake tasting sweet. But a lot of them are hormone free. Obviously they're gluten free, and what I do is I just do a scoop of this with some milk, and then I also put some vanilla yogurt in it. It's like really good. I used to put like berries in, I didn't like it. I've just found the best thing that works for me is vanilla yogurt, chocolate powder, and then a little bit of milk, and it gives it kind of like a sweet and sour with the vanilla yogurt. It's actually really good. So that's what I do. And that's a good thing for like lunch. If you're like on the go and you're like, crap, I can't make a sandwich, what am I gonna do? Make yourself a shake, and it'll fill you up. And it'll also give you, you know, the vitamins you need, because you're not absorbing the stuff. Sorry, I have so much information to tell you guys, so this is going to be kind of long. But another thing about if you have celiacs, or for me that got me scared, is a lot of the times when you're eating foods that have gluten, it's like deteriorating your intestines, and then you're not able to absorb all your nutrients as much. So that kind of freaked me out, because I was like, what if all this time eating gluten, you know, it's been hurting me and damaging me? But the good thing is, I didn't have it all my life. Like, you can develop it later in life. A lot of times you just develop it, say in your 20s, and you were fine the rest of your life. So it's not like I was, you know, hurting myself up until now. It just kind of developed a year ago. So there's that. So another thing is more meal replacement shakes as opposed to just a protein shake. So these, I have had these before. There's a bunch of different flavors. They're called Amazing Meals by Amazing Grass. They are a little pricey, I'm gonna warn you. This one is in the pomegranate mango infusion, and it's cheaper to get the little packets. There's 10 of these than to get the actual like thing. So that's what I did. And it has organic protein in it, greens, fruits, and veggies. So it just has more, it's raw, gluten-free, vegan, kosher. It has a little more to it than just protein, which is nice. You're getting, let me kind of read you. There's organic rice protein, hemp protein, wheatgrass, barley grass, kale. It's a vegetable blend of a bunch of different things. Carrots, blueberries, bananas, goji, flaxseed powder. You're getting a lot of stuff in here. So this is great because it also has, oh, I didn't know that. It has probiotics in it. I'll get into that after. I have so much to talk about. Okay, so this is, I have made one right here if I could show you. Look at your health food store for a shaker. I wish I could show you, but it's in here. There's a little like ball, and it looks like a whisk, and you drop it in here. I put coconut milk in here. Here's the coconut milk I have right now, Coconut Dream. Any coconut milk's fine, or any almond milk. I just am obsessed with coconut right now. So I pour one of my packets in here, and you just shake it. And the whisk blends it together, and then I just drink this. And this is a full-on meal. So this is just, it's nice, you don't have to worry about it. It's easy on the go. And it actually tastes pretty good. This is the pomegranate mango infusion. It's just kind of fruity, and then the coconut milk makes it a little like tropical. It's good. Another thing is coconut. I guess this isn't really necessarily like just for people who are gluten-free, but these are just things that I've like worked into my diet like on the regular. So I drink a lot of coconut milk because it really hydrates me, and it also fills me up. And I just really, really like coconut. But you can put coconut water or coconut milk in here. So I kind of, if you want it heavier or lighter or whatever. I have some more coconut milk. This is a different brand, but, or this is coconut water. I'm obsessed with coconut right now. Okay, so another thing is getting bars that don't have gluten in them. One that they don't have there, they have it at like Target. It's called Simple, I want to say. They have it at Target. I don't know if I just said that. But I get it in the toasted coconut flavor. Surprise, surprise. They're delicious. So go, it's called Simple something. And the box is blue and white, and they're amazing. They're usually in like the protein, powder protein bar section. A couple other bars that I really like, and they're good, are Kind bars. They're fruit and nut bars. These are amazing. They have them at Starbucks, so it's great. If you're going to Starbucks and all your friends are getting a muffin and you want a muffin, get a Kind bar because they're filling, they're good, and you won't get a stomachache or be itchy. Another one is Think Thin Crunch. They have tons of flavors. Again, these don't have gluten in them. Things that have more nuts and fruit and dates kind of thing as opposed to oats. Like if I eat oats, I can't eat oatmeal, it kills me. And then the other one is the Lara bar, and this is in the coconut cream pie. It's a fruit and nut bar. So it has a lot of dates in them. But those are my 3 favorite type of bars, and they're great to grab on the go because they're really healthy for you, but you don't have to take a lot of time, you know, preparing any food. So there's that. Another thing that I have found to help with digestion and like absorption of my food is kombucha. And I don't know super much about kombucha, but I did talk about it in one of my vlogs. So this one, I dropped it on my way home, so I poured it in a cup. But this is what the bottle looks like. And Synergy is just one of their kinds. But kombucha, it's like a brewed tea kind of thing, and it's fizzy. And the thing that I like about it has probiotics in here, and they kind of settle down here. So it's kind of scary at first, and you kind of have to get used to the kombucha taste, but it helps you absorb your foods, and it helps you digest your foods. And a lot of people who have celiacs talk about these. So it's kind of crazy. I didn't realize it before, but if you look at my kombucha vlog, I have a link to a guy's channel that talks all about kombucha. So you can hear more about it, and he's a little more educated than I am about it. So I honestly think these help, and they make me feel better. If I ever get a stomachache, if I ever feel not so great, I will drink one of these, and they will help me out. They're a little pricey, but they get them on sale at different health food stores. Okay, I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing something out. I could go on for hours and hours talking about this, but if you have specific questions, leave them in the comments below. My biggest thing is it just gets to the point where it becomes your lifestyle, and you don't even think about, you know, ordering pasta off the menu. It's like, why would I order pasta? And you don't crave it anymore. So it's really not a big deal. It's only a hassle when you're going out to eat sometimes and there aren't many options, but there's usually salads or something. No. It's hard when you're like going to somebody's house to eat dinner and they prepare you something that has it. What I do in that case, I'll just eat less of whatever has gluten and eat more of like the vegetables and stuff, and I'll be fine. And if I get one stomachache, you know, I can deal with it, but it's just best to always, if you can help it, you know, why not? So I hope this helped you guys out. Make sure if you do think this is, you know, happening to you and you shouldn't eat gluten anymore, make sure you are getting like the vitamins and nourishment you need that you're lacking from gluten. Make sure you're taking your vitamins and just getting some sort of a substitute in there. So that's kind of what I've learned. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. If I do forget something like major, I'll put like an annotation in here, but I think that's the general gist. I've been talking for hours, but if you have questions, seriously, just leave in the comments below, and I will try to get back to you with whatever I can tell you. So that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Just go out and buy it. It's just, seriously, like, it's made me so much healthier as a person because I buy so much more like fruit and vegetables and healthy food. It's like you're not eating cookies, you're not eating cake, and that's good. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.